Hello again, everyone. Melth here, and back with some friends for a special collaboration this time.
Oh,
Up
hi.
top there, I've got my friend Advanced Warrior, and in the middle is Brienne, and right here next to me, invisible, is my wife Mara.
Hello.
So the reason for the special collaboration is that some months ago I came up with an idea for a new Advanced Wars by Web map, and I put that together, and then I thought it'd be fun if I had not just played a game of it myself on this new map, but also had a couple other friends play games on it and see what they thought of things. So I figured that
We're
maybe...
his guinea pigs.
Yes, that is exactly right. Most of the test subjects survive the experiment.
That's why I'm not visible. I'm actually just a ghost now.
So I thought that what we would do would be have two games here. One between the newer pair of players, Culpavol and Mara. And then one between the more intermediate players, Advanced Warrior and myself. So, go on.
I don't know if you're gonna show this in your video, but like if you do, like the replay viewer doesn't seem to show any of the ghost units here. What Melth did with this map was that he put ports. They still give income if you capture it, but when developing the map, you're gonna put in a third army that's not really playable. And what that does is that it prevents anything being built from there. Like you could do it with bases, you could do it with airports, ports here, obviously. And what this does is that it just gives players income, but it also kind of creates a terrain where both naval and ground units can cross, and they could have like some more unique interactions. Here we could maybe possibly see cruisers, battleships, or submarines try to get to other bodies of water where they are needed most.
Yes, that was one of my design goals for this map, was I thought that usually naval units are pretty worthless in Advanced Wars. I wanted to try to create a map where not only naval units, but also unusual ground units like missiles that basically never see play would actually be viable and useful. And so I thought, well, if I use these ports, which are the only tile that can be crossed by both land units and naval units, I can fix one of the big problems naval units have, which is that they just can't get anywhere useful, and the ground battle will move away from them.
Yes, I did enjoy the little bridges that you have going on here.
Mm-hmm. You can see, of course, that both players are set off with a large number of landers and black boats, so that you can really take advantage of all these shoals and ports to drop off units really fast, and open up a whole bunch of different fronts in the first few turns to fight your opponent wherever you want to. And this also, of course, gives an incentive to build an initial sub, because if your opponent already has like 40-something thousand gold worth of landers and whatnot on the water, it's things for that sub to hunt down and destroy that are actually useful. And so if a person builds a sub, the person probably wants to counter with a cruiser, and things kind of go into naval units being somewhat incentivized from there.
Yeah, especially with all these ports here, each player is going to be getting a lot of income, which can actually give players a chance to buy naval units.
Yes. And air units too, of course, but you'll notice that there are some problems with the airports in this map on purpose. So there are corner airports, but you'll notice that each player has a lander that kind of blocks off the opponent's convenient corner airport. So as long as your lander stands there, they will not have an easy time getting that airport at all. They'll either get a sub to kill you, or I guess like a battleship. And there's of course a problem with the other airport too that I think came up in both of these games.
The airports are in missile range of the opponents.
Let's see how things went in practice. As you can see, for this first game, Mara picked the CO Max, who's very powerful with direct units, and Culpavol picked Sonya, who is a Fog of War specialist, and quite good on this map, I would say. Either of you have any thoughts about your CO choices?
As far as my choice goes, two things. One, as much as Fog of War is fantastic, and I do think it's great, I hate it. So just having more vision, this is very nice. The other thing, though, is I do like the ability to see into forests with the superpower. And considering I was going to go up against Max, and I was going to base my strategy then, minor spoilers, but around artillery, I figured I'd really want to be able to see into those forests on key turns.
Why did you pick Max here?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I think I've seen you play Max a lot, and he seems strong, so... But Max.
Max is, I think, a strong pick for this map, because of course Max is really good with not just ground direct units, but with naval direct units, which means your subs will just guaranteed instant kill anything on the water, pretty much. And there are a lot of wide open spots you can fight. The middle has a lot of these wide open shoals and plains. I've made it not be very choky. Downside, of course, is a map where rockets are pretty useful too. Notice, of course, that I made sure there's a shoal that Max could walk a missile onto and still lock down that airport, so it's still doable. But let's get into it.
Alright.
Did either of you have any thoughts about what your early game plans were?
Build infantry.
I did. I was, since I had that extra city, I knew that my income was enough that I would get the first tank.
That's true.
And so my plan was just to rush the center as soon as possible because I wanted to cut the map diagonally in half from like the top left to the bottom right. Just so that I could set up artillery there since, again, Max's artillery is awful and I did not want to fight him directly with my weaker units and his stronger ones, so...
Good thinking, yeah. Alright, so going for the airport immediately, it looks like. And setting up for a cool boost with that lander. Okay, so getting landers into play. There are... And, oh wow, a really early tank there, just like Kopovo was mentioning, right?
Very early.
But with the lander, you can get them
That wasn't-
dropped off into the action super fast.
I wasn't terribly worried about having a slow capture start because I wanted to harass her captures as well. So I figured if we both were slow but I had tanks pushed up very far, I would have an advantage. That was my thought process anyway. I don't know if that's right, but...
Nice little boost there with that infantry. I think that's a good move. And you might notice that both players are currently leaving their HQ landers in place. On this map, you all start off with 3 landers, but there's some trade-offs to how you choose to use them. As you move these transports off, you become a little bit more vulnerable. And you also, of course, do have a lander that starts off blocking the opponent's airport. If you want, you get that into play too, but that means that you're leaving them the option to get their airports.
Also, another thing to note, it happens later on, but normally landers only have 1 vision range, but Sonya's have 2, so I could actually scout the airport by leaving it up there in the upper right-hand corner.
Yes, I think we will see that later on. That was a smart move too, I think. Okay, so here comes some aggressive middle play. So a tank just dropped off pretty much right into the middle on day 3, which is one thing that I had in mind for this map. I was hoping people would get into the action as fast as they would on the smaller map. Did you have any thoughts about what that early recon would do?
The map is enormous. I had a feeling I'd be meeting a tank in the middle at some point soon, but I had no idea where the rest of Mare's troops would be. So I really wanted that recon to be able to go harass and find the enemy at some point.
Getting an early T-copter.
I think that turn was when I realized the black boat could not go back onto the HQ. I don't remember what my T-copter plans were.
Okay. I think it's a very good choice in this map.
Yeah. Transport around 3 infantry rather than 2 with a single block boat.
That was something that I noticed in my game against Starduster a long time ago. There was a similar setup in one piece of that map.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
I see here, I guess Kopovo was talking about trying to split the map, north, west to southeast. That's probably why that tank went that way, right?
Yes, I also wanted to position it in that forest, and just to have some nice vision.
There goes the recon. And a lot more tanks. So, of course, it would have been possible if you wanted to build a missile by this point and lock that airport. So there is, as you can see, kind of a trade-off to building, the tanks, the recons, and so forth, which is that Max has the chance to get out some air units. But the advantage is you can get lots of units into the middle, so... I think you can see there's a pretty wide variety of capture orders that we're starting to see already, as we get, the transfers moving toward different islands. Interesting choice of that recon there. You can move your recon around a fair amount here, just keep an eye on either the opponent's black boat or their factory. If you're Sonya, you don't have to choose, you can have both, because you can see 6 squares, so that's pretty great. Okay, so getting the HQ lander into play there, a little bit earlier than Culpable does.
That
I
is
think
fair.
both played very well considering their lack of experience with this game. Like, Mare's only played just that one game before this with me. I think Culpable hadn't played since, like, decades ago, right?
Like 2011.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, come to think of it, I think Culpable was the one who told me about Advancers by Web back in college, although I must have just forgotten all about it because I don't recollect that conversation. But in a way, that means that everything is Culpable's fault. It is Culpable who unleashed me upon an unsuspecting world.
My bad.
There's claiming that force. That's a good move there. Very nice lander position there. I think you can do a double tank drop with that next turn. Is that right?
I believe that was the plan.
6, yep.
Interesting. Getting another...
Alright, that's...
So here they're going to meet in the middle on, I guess, day 6. And without Sonya's vision range, it would not at all be safe to go ahead and attack this. But with Sonya's vision range, I think... Am I right, Culpable? You can see that tank get dropped off?
I could see the tank get dropped off. However, I'll talk about it when it gets there.
Sounds good.
I mean, she knows the tank is there, but she can't see it to attack it.
That's
Correct.
true. And
So
a max
I
copter.
I would have to.
I think that was a daring but very good build, getting that copter out.
I think I didn't build as many battlecopters as I should have in the other game. So I built them this game. Or at least one. I don't remember if I built one.
Well, Max has amazing copters, so this is a good build.
Mm-hmm. On this map, you can get like one area unit out safely before the opponent can lock you if they rush to get a missile fast. So you're guaranteed to be able to either get a T-copter or a B-copter, but you can't safely get both. Alright, looks like both players will be dropping off onto the contestable side properties on the same turn, I think. And doing
Culpable
lots of big
has the
grubs
missile.
there. Yes, there's the first missile. Too late to stop the battlecopter.
I do want to know what was going through your head when you saw that copter was going to get away scot-free.
I was so mad that that battlecopter even got built. I wasn't thinking it was going to be out that fast at all. So I was looking at it and I'm like, this is just going to be a problem for the rest of this game. I need to make sure that doesn't happen again. And I'm pretty sure the battlecopter can't see the missiles.
Yeah,
That's
they
true.
can. It can see the infantry, and that's a very risky attack. Did any of you guys use the move planner?
So, just real quick, I didn't at the very least, but this tank attack only happened because I don't know how to count to 6. You see, I knew that tank was there, and I knew that it would beat my tank really badly, even if I was in a forest. But I saw, I'll get locked by the infantry and the tank if I stay in the other forest. So I might as well just get some value out of this tank. What I didn't realize was that the 2 tanks I just dropped off could have covered this one tank that I just moved into its death. And I didn't realize that till after I'd done it, because I can't count to 6. That's going to happen a couple of times. I have this incredible
I see what
inability
you
to
mean.
count to 6. It's really bad.
Mare, did you have any thoughts, like, when you saw this tank?
I figured I was behind, or moving really poorly or something.
So far, the income is the same.
Yeah, income is very
That's
similar.
not-
But getting lots of good captures, getting loaded up. B-copter did a smart move and got to safety, and you get a nice max first strike that just devastates that Sonya tank. Now you've got control of that forest too. I guess
infantry?
Max can... Oh, not Max. Sonya can see what was dropped off, I think. I'm prepping for more drops.
Mech.
Mm-hmm. I think mechs,
Interesting.
yeah, are a pretty solid choice for this map, though, if you think about it. Because, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, definitely.
like, I know they're not Max's forte. He's just average with them, right? But on that front, this is your weak side. You've only got, one base, and you've got only a black boat rather than the lander to transport your troops, and so you really can't get heavy vehicles out here to defend your infantry against recon harassment, as is just about to happen, right? So having that mech that can get dropped off there and fight off for recon, I think is a smart choice that Mare made there. Okay, so missile moves to where it locks the airport and doesn't block the base anymore. Corporal does get a nice harassing recon strike there, but with Sonya's poor damage and whatnot, it's hard to do much damage to an infantry that's capturing.
Yeah.
Switching the full health tank and the 4 health tank, so I had no idea which was which.
I have forgot all about that.
Me too.
Good thinking.
It's like even when I'm playing as Sonjo, I forget that my HP hides.
You can theoretically use fuel, as I've talked about recently, to discern which Sonya tank is which. Oh, an
This
anti-air.
was-
Just looking real quickly. You can still go on, but this is not in alphabetical order.
I think I just sort of gave up on the damage calculator because I had no idea how much HP the other unit had, which was not great because I also had no idea which units did well against other units.
Still going for the capture. I guess it's kind of a bluff, but you have your copter covering you, so that makes some sense, I think. And I guess Kopel was forced to build an anti-air down there, right? Which you don't really want to be building on a map where your opponent only has one copter. So setting up for some drops next turn.
Oh, I can't see the airport, can I?
Yeah, that's true.
I probably moved that infantry there thinking I could see the airport and I couldn't.
I see. Yeah.
Counting squares and checking vision is for nerds.
I agree.
I feel attacked.
It was a direct attack with Max's plus 100% attack bonus. Very painful.
But probably poorly aimed due to lack of strategy and counting squares, so you'll be fine.
Alright. Let's see what Kopel does here.
Yeah, this will be an interesting turn because, Kopel lost vision of the middle there.
Yeah.
I saw the battle copter, so I was pretty sure that there weren't going to be more tanks there yet.
That's true, but this lander could potentially have dropped off a tank or something like that, depending.
So I seem to recall the recon literally did nothing.
I guess it is getting shot.
That is a fair assumption. Ooh, infantry lives. Sonya.
Bad luck.
Here's the thing, I love Sonya. Melth does not. She has things that Melth would like for a CO, but it's just one particular stat that just makes Melth not like her so much, and that is the luck.
Yes. My, hits and misses that CO's had? My misses threaten to be luck mechanics, and Sonya having bad luck is just intolerable to me.
It's just
I'm
like-
okay with it because it's my natural state of gaming is to have terrible luck. So I'm right there with her. I understand.
Mine is all over the place.
Oh,
Oh,
here's a
rocket.
rocket. Nice.
Hello there.
Yeah, in a lot of Fog of War maps, rockets are not so great, but here in this map, where they can be transported around super fast, they're pretty viable, I think. Which is one reason that I wanted
Put
to
it-
have all these shoals.
Put it in that middle forest.
Mm-hmm. Great control there.
Alright. I don't see any efforts, any fighting for that comm tower yet.
Yeah, I think both of them kind of delayed their comm tower to focus on the middle or on other objectives like the sides. Great job there, you secured that city by just warding off the recon, so, yeah. Recon harassment only slowed down by like one turn, right? That's not too bad.
Yeah. The copter did its job.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make note of where that copter is because I'm going to fail to count to 6 again soon. And I'm going to get obliterated by this battlecopter in a minute.
Is that
Great
anti-air in
vision.
the lander?
Yes.
Okay.
Great vision over there, and you're safe from the tank, too. See, Mara gets a ton of useful intel this turn and just builds lots of tanks to deal with those ones, which I think is a good choice.
Yeah.
I would have built the tanks regardless of the recon, and I didn't do anything with the information I got from the recon. Because that requires, like, thinking 3 steps ahead instead of 1.5 or 2, which is about where I cap out.
Alright, so now Culpable has mid-control, or mid-vision again. Loading up that rocket.
Oh,
Ooh.
that is a loaded lander right there.
Sure, it'd be a shame if there was a sub waiting for it, right? But you're still pretty safe at this point, so.
how much is going away in that? Let me do the math here. 12 plus
35,000.
12 plus 8. 35,000. Oh, that sub's paying for itself if it happens. Man,
Maybe worth a shot
It's like-
sometime.
that's like almost a dozen vehicles that you're taking out with one shot. Especially as Max, I think you're guaranteed a lander kill as Max.
Oh, easily, yeah. That 20% attack power.
Yeah.
Blackboat's starting
How
to
much-
run low on fuel. 8?
Oh, that's very low on fuel.
Yeah, they move fast, and there's only one place that can be refueled, so... Although, actually, no, never mind. The Ghost unit at ports can still refuel things.
Yeah, they still refuel. Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of the scenario that Culpable had been talking about near the beginning happening, which is getting revealed in that force getting slammed by a Max tank.
Oh,
Speaking of
I
counting
caught
squares, there goes my... Yep, there it is. I thought it couldn't hit there.
4,
Yep.
6, 7. Ooh.
And that's really actually doubly great, because not only does it wreck this recon, it also blocks Advanced Warrior's tank... Not Advanced Warrior's.
My
Sorry.
tank.
Culpable's tank from coming around there and hitting that counterattack.
Yes, I definitely thought about that when I put it there.
Oh, and it traps the recon too.
Yep, it's a nice move.
If there was a chess.com for Advanced Wars by Web, it'd probably say something like "excellent move" or something. but I don't know if it would tell you that in a fog game.
Oh, knowing chess.com, it absolutely would.
This is, these couple turns here are going to be pretty pivotal, I think. Up until now, I would say that after a rough start, Mara's taken back control of the middle pretty well. Max's units are trapped, that B-Copter is still going uncontested for the time being, getting good control of the sides, so it's going decently, and at this point Max's bonuses can start taking over, I would say, if things don't get turned around fast by Culpable. Getting some nice little lander drop set up. Is that just to guard the HQ or to cap? I guess there's a port that still needs.
It's going to
protection.
capture, yeah.
And
That
he's doing a good
happens.
job there of protecting you, right?
Yeah,
Lots of black boats
That's-
to drop off people around.
that's always handy. Are stealths banned on this map?
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay, so in this turn, the anti-air is threatening the copter, but Mara doesn't have a way to know about that. It's pretty well positioned. The two are still fairly closely tied on income. I think they both have good capture routes, and it looks like Mara is threatening to take a city away from Culpable there, which is going to be quite a blow to the economy. Doing good scouting, killing off that tank, good moves there. And then this is where one thing goes wrong, which is that B-Copter is now vulnerable to the anti-air.
Oh, Mars got a slight income lead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I just noticed that Culpable started their comm tower capture.
Yes, and I think Mara will in a few turns. That's probably what that lander is there for, I would bet.
And built the copter.
Yes, and this is where the missile will start paying for itself. The funny thing is, I think Culpable's been assuming there was a missile, just kind of assuming everyone is, has not been there yet, but there's not been a missile the whole time.
Mara, you had the psychological edge on Culpable.
So So then
there
Mare
we
does
go.
build
Now
the
we got a
missile,
missile. Right after you see the missile.
That was probably me saying, "Oh wait, I should probably actually build
I
this."
can do that too. I just thought of an alliteration. Mars making moves.
Mare's making missiles too.
Miss. Mara's actually doing. She's actually doing really good here. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Last
And-
copter.
Yeah. 2 copters.
Yeah, this is a painful turn, I think.
Who's player 2 on this again?
Culpable is player 2.
Okay. Give me the. I would like to see the stats after you end this turn.
Do the stats update?
Battleship. Oh, Battleship alert!
That's what we play this map for, right? What was your plan for that, Culpable?
I did want to have an airport at some point. So I do believe it goes for the lander, and this lander is going to be really unfortunate.
Lander maneuvers.
I
Clever.
only remember the panic of trying to figure out where to move the lander. I don't remember what it did.
So the missile's in
And,
place. That airport is now actually locked rather than just psychologically locked.
And we're actually getting close to the superpowers.
Yes, I was not sure as I watched this unfold who'd get their power out first, because Sonya theoretically could because she's a cheaper bar, but
What's
Again,
Max's power?
It increases movement and attack power for direct units, but not infantry, even though they're technically direct units. I wish Advanced Wars by Web would specify that.
Back in the good old days of gaming where they never wanted to tell you anything.
Finally. Com Tower. I think you got it easier than when I tried to get it.
Absolutely, yeah. An interesting choice
We'll
is to pull
see.
your recon off of the island and put it onto the lander. That's giving up espionage over there, but it also gives you the chance to harass really well, so I think that's a cool choice.
I mean, I don't strategize well enough to do anything with the information I was getting. Like, it never changed what I was going to do, so recon can go somewhere else, I bet.
Maybe. Now the tank's going to be sacrificed, but you know like everything important that Sonya has suddenly.
I think the mountain infantry could
Oh,
already do
yes, it
that.
already did, didn't it? Oh, yeah. What am I talking about?
The tank was trying its best.
To be fair, it can't be hit by the rocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only the artillery that's a threat to it. But now there's a bunch of max tanks in the middle, which is a threatening situation. And they're blocked pretty well by that infantry. And they're backed up by even more max tanks and more max tanks. When I was watching this, I thought, this could actually be it. Like, that max tank swarm could just blitz through this with a max force and destroy who knows what, potentially.
Alright, medium tank from Mara.
Yes, medium tank. That's a good choice, too, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Max is strong with them. They're hard to counter here. We can't get air units out. I mean, true, Sonya does have some indirects there, but Max doesn't have too many problems breaking through a wall and killing indirect, so I think that was a smart choice. And it looks like Mara is ahead on income. Might be like tied after a couple of... No, I think Mara's going to be ahead on income. Nicely done.
Really?
Yes.
I did not
Yeah.
see that coming at all.
Yeah, I think, at this turn you're ahead on income, and, like, about tied on unit count, and then Culpable is ahead on, like, kind of positioning, I would say. But it's still anyone's game, because, Culpable doesn't have a counter brick ready to go, and so it would be possible, I think, to set up just like a devastating max blast or max force in the middle, just tear through that rocket and things like that.
That requires knowing how to use your superpower.
Yeah, it probably does require that. Very sneaky battleship there, just hanging out in that reef instead of advancing toward the lander.
Very sneaky. I'm just trying to think about how reefs can actually hide battleships.
I think the idea is that this battlefield is supposed to be enormous.
Yeah.
So if you're behind a reef, but like 10 miles away or 2 tiles, then you can't be seen.
But aren't
Or
reefs
maybe it's
usually
like
like submerged or mostly submerged?
We don't have to worry about that part.
When we went snorkeling, those reefs weren't below the water.
That's true. We went to the Great Barrier Reef and they're partially below, partially above, of course. But I don't think, you probably couldn't have hidden the battleship behind the parts that were exposed.
You can't hide it behind 2 inches of reef?
You
What?
come to think of it, I didn't see any battleships when I was there, so actually never mind, you can hide battleships.
Yeah, see?
Alright, tons of capture, really getting a lot of income.
Who's doing that?
You.
Oh.
You are.
Yeah, you're really coming to the point where you can build whatever you want, pretty much. Naval units, air units, ground units, anything you want.
I think I was seeing like the rocket and the artillery and whatever else is down there and thinking, wow, she has way more income than me to be able to afford all that. I need to step up my capture game.
Get walled out.
I'm used to a different type of tank.
Kanbei tanks.
Oh yeah, Kanbei tank.
Yeah, that type of tank.
Yeah, Kanbei's an interesting one because now Mara is playing with regular cost units. I mean, listen, I like a 30-30 unit, but I kind of don't like it when I have to like micromanage my income as well.
Mm-hmm. I think you can see that with all the tanks everywhere, it's not easy to block Max out of here, and a Max Blacksmith could have just demolished everything.
I recall assuming that there weren't this many tanks, and then they just were.
Ah, there we go.
Ooh.
Scouting and then hitting that lander, but
And it survives.
it survives because it's a Sonya
Oh.
battleship.
I did.
You
I
could have used your super, maybe.
I actually. So I forgot that supers boosted damage. But I also remember, I think I did the damage calculator on this. It was like 98% to 108% or something.
Oh, Sonja, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
This is why Melth will never take this character seriously.
I hate Sonya.
I should probably play Sonja against you one day.
You're welcome to try. I have a pretty good record against Sonya so far. I'm not too intimidated by her terrible luck.
That tone just that tone just said to me, "I will kick your ass." I don't know why that tone just felt like that.
Now, I think that these ports are going to heal my tanks. They're not.
Or not.
Yep. Only cities, and there
Would
are
be
none
nice.
of those in the middle.
Would be nice if they did.
Yeah, but I guess like the naval workers there aren't paid for that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just like they can't even do 1 HP.
It's not in their contract.
Yeah, this is. Let's just build half a tank. Just like Sensei. Let's just deploy 4 normal infantry and 1 half infantry on every city. Oh, kind of right.
I did the
Yes.
super because I thought I was about to just die and I wanted to swing first to not die immediately.
I think it was smart, because if you hadn't done that, you would have just died here, basically. Because Max would have just superpowered and broken through all of that stuff, and you would have lost the rocket, you would have lost, like, everything. So, good choice. So, smart move, I think. And then, correctly guessing where the battleship is.
Correctly. Mara making moves. This was a good move.
Yeah, that battleship can't shoot anymore, it has to drive somewhere else, and she'll be able to see where it goes and have a good guess about how to get away from it.
It's a lovely game of hide and seek. It's like, it's just 1 HP, but where is it? It's like it's a tiny thing, but it's a pet. Oh, submarine.
Yes, I mean, you see a battleship, there's already 4 landers or whatever on the water, great choice to build a submarine. I think I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, Cobblestone does know it exists, but when it submerges, good luck finding it.
Mm-hmm.
Now Cobblestone has to worry about a 1 HP lander in a submarine.
I think Mara made a good choice to not use the super this turn and not push into that, power. It might have been a little bit better possibly to pull back like a square out of rocket range, but other than that, I think it was good.
That requires thinking ahead. Come on now.
Okay. And I guess you didn't know where the rocket was exactly. That's also a point that I was leaving out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we combine standard and fog of war?
Yeah, there we go. Just, I'll play a Fog of War game where I'm allowed to see the other person's map and see exactly where it is.
Field tracking.
I'm tempted to do that against Melth and watch him win again, which would be very embarrassing, but it'd be interesting.
Well, if you wanna do standard while your opponent's in Fog of War, just pick Sanja.
I mean, like, some people do it in, like, free-for-alls as well, because they're like, hey, let's form an alliance. And it's like, sure, give each other vision. Whoa!
Yeah, going hard for that comm tower.
Oh no!
Mara has rockets! Mara has rockets, at least.
Oh, I do.
Yes, that was.
They're
that was a good
actually
choice.
going to be really annoying too. The rare.
Wait, they're max rockets!
Yeah, the rare max rocket actually doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah, it could still do its job.
Mm-hmm. Whole bunch of good tank attacks there, but now all the tanks are vulnerable to a max blast, which could be devastating.
Now, are my medium tanks known? Are they in vision? Or are they still secret?
Nope.
They're still secret.
No, they're not.
Dun-dun. Dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
There's that crucial to hunt down the sub.
Hey, rockets at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or does the battleship look like it's wearing a dunce hat? Alright,
so here
where
comes
were
max blast.
Dun 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 dun.
Here come the
Basically.
MDs. And they wreck a lot of stuff, but don't quite get through to the indirects. I guess this tank can do that, though. Yeah. There's no stopping max tanks during... Oh, yeah. There's no stopping max tanks during max blast.
I remember the infantry killing a tank and being happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy too.
Oh, and I didn't find the battleship again. So this is where like the panic is.
Oh, speaking of airports, that top right one,
Yes,
that transport
good move.
copter snuck all the way up there. If Kopoval uses her power, then she can see.
Mhm.
I believe I moved later because you moved your infantry to the left so you could build something from there.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, revealing that you had the airport. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just a minute. Okay.
Did Mara say earlier that she didn't know what did what damage to units?
I have basic concepts like a big tank will hit an infantry or a smaller tank.
And I think a smart choice building the second rocket here. That's the only way you can really defend this property at this point from the two mechs. You just drive out there and they can't get away with the captures anymore. So it's
Oh yeah, I also didn't know how well a rocket would do against mechs.
demolishes them.
Oh good. And I really should have been using the damage calculator, like 10 versus 10 if nothing else. But I just had given up on it.
Learn as you go.
It's a little overwhelming to have to do damage calcs on everything and learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
why
luckily
That's why
Sorry,
some
go on.
Advanced Wars players burn out. Some.
Yeah.
Bro, I have a ranked game that's been going on for one entire month.
Wow.
I mean, to be fair, I did throw, but
You've got... Yeah, took some
Even-
damage on your MD tank there, but like it's really vulnerable, right? If like if the infantry walks into there, reveals the rocket, it's definitely precarious. Although you are bringing in some heavy reinforcements. The battleship's coming over that way, the MD tanks are coming over that way.
So battleships can hit land units?
hit anything that doesn't fly.
for way too much damage. And I also revealed the submarine too, because I knew where it was.
Yes, because you saw it move there in hides, then you can just walk there and... Not that it matters that much, but you'll see which direction it moves away, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why Sun is a pretty powerful CO on this map. The way things are designed, it is not easy to get both vision and 5 squares of range on the opponent's base here and base lock this base. But with Sonya, with 6 vision on your recons, you can do that. You get like a rocket, put it over here, they can threaten that base. There's kind of meant to be like some
so-
rocket fencing here, where like you build a missile, the opponent has an incentive to build a rocket, and try to push you back, so they can get their airport back. But then you might build a battleship to stop them. It's kind of just meant to be another thing that will draw people into building these rarely seen units, and then starting a naval fight there potentially.
Yeah. Now I'm just imagining a battleship. Like, imagine if Copable had a battleship on that reef next to the missile. Oh my gosh.
So great job there covering those cities, so they can't be captured anymore, and the missile reveals that one, so they can't get away with by stealth out of there.
I always forget how good a missile's vision is.
Oh, there goes. Yeah, you did it. You got rid of the rocket. Nicely done.
Yay. And the anti-air.
Oh yeah, I thought I would do
Which-
a lot more damage to the anti-air than I did.
It's on a property, so that's fair.
Oh, it's on a prop. Yeah, terrain bonuses. Thinking of those.
Whoa! Whoa!
You can scout your opponent like that, so now you know what Culpable's been building.
To be fair, that black boat ain't dying.
I
black boat.
remembered from years ago trying to shoot black boats with tanks and not doing very well. So
Yes.
It's like 1 damage.
It's like one damage. If you could maybe like get rid of the recon and just start overwhelming, that'd be. And it's a little bit choky too. Like if you could maybe hold that city where Kopavol's infantry is at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I parked on her port on the off chance it would heal me. I figured it
I'm
was
not
like-
trained to do that either.
I popped the scope.
Mm-hmm. Look at that wonderful, beautiful vision across the map. That is one nice thing about
Oh, it's
Sunday.
quite good to see it.
That is Kopavol's goal. Just that diagonal that she wanted.
So forced to pull back. Now, because it's a max rocket, it can't shoot her there, but at least still protects these properties. So the whole steal the comp thing is not working.
But I think Operation Get My Airport Back isn't it?
That's actually smart.
Mm-hmm. Getting some nice first strikes there on these MD tanks, and just barely outside of range because it's a max rocket. Would have been devastating otherwise. Even so, your range of these max
Wait.
MD tanks.
Did my
Yeah, but I'm under my superpower.
True.
Wait, is it under range? Is it in range?
No.
2, 4. Now it's safe.
Oh, the replay viewer was it doesn't do that for some reason.
Huh. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Here's a sub.
Hey, you got your own sub.
Mm-hmm. The sub here, though, it's able to kill off this black boat with impunity because that cruiser is not in range. So, 2, 4, or at least it can't. Sorry, it can't be revealed. There's no way to reveal it. So even if the cruiser can't get to it, you can't do a darn thing. So that's a good start there. And this Teacup doing a lot of good work. Then just go back there with just enough fuel.
It's like crash landing on the airport.
Mm-hmm. So I have to pull back. So the missile is not threatening anymore, but the rocket has to move back off of there, so the missile can move back next turn if Culpable wants to not bluff and actually build something from the airport. So it's still going to be tricky to actually... blocked there, okay.
Oof.
And now that's the first target range of the battleship, I guess.
Can we just talk about the logic of that trap? It's like, why can't we land here? There's like 3 mechs on the beach. What's in that lander? What's in that lander?
Just an infantry, I think.
It's like, can we just shove them off? It's just like, no, they refuse to move. it's like, just run them over. We're not offensive units.
This is Sonya's superpower working here. So the tank tried to attack the MD tank, but because of Sonya's superpower, it gets struck first, and so it just dies.
At like 70, a plus 70 attack.
I think it attacked the full one.
It attacked the full one, yeah.
Okay. No, yeah, like... Hold on, wait. When it says it multiplies Sonja's power by 1.5, that doesn't necessarily mean plus 50%, right?
It doesn't
Her
apply during
counterattacks
superpower.
don't. Yeah, her counterattacks don't work during the superpower.
It's like a complete dyssynergy of like that day-to-day power and superpower work against each other.
Wait, what?
Awful. It's awful.
What the? I've been playing Sonja wrong then.
Oh
There's
my-
no right way to play Sonya. Yeah.
Sure there is. You play her because you hate Fog of War.
Well, I play her because She's funny. Even though she literally drugs Max in the first game.
It's okay.
Not even
It's
just
fine, we
Max,
don't
it could
have to
be
talk
Andy,
about it.
like, you know, drugging some random kid who's like leading an army for some insane reason, right?
Apparently Andy's 12, that's why he doesn't know what an airport is. Andy's 12, Max is 20, Sammy's 17, Sonja's 14, Drake
So they're
is
all
15.
really like
Oh,
implausibly
wow.
young because this is a Japanese game, so they've got to be. I don't think the Japanese military is staffed entirely by like, you know, teenage officers, but I could be wrong about that.
You can't prove that.
Alright, so let's see here.
Gets a breakthrough and then is able to kill that Max rocket.
Did I even fire off a shot with that rocket?
I don't think so. It's a Max
No.
rocket.
See, I don't
It's
like
just there to
Order X
intimidate-
because it's difficult. You can't move and shoot, and nobody's ever in range because they're too good to be in range.
Play Eagle.
Mm-hmm. Ah, so here we have the first
Technically-
bomber coming out.
Win.
Ooh. Big beefy bomber.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got nothing, right?
I think you get a bomber. I guess you need to delay one turn because you get this guy onto the airport before he dies, but you get the bomber next turn. Yeah, so Teacup there just in time. Lots of good captures. Still ahead on income, so doing well there. It's kind of swung back and forth, but I think you did a good job on your captures.
43,000.
Money, yeah. Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, I did get someone onto that island. I thought I never managed.
Yeah, you did get someone there. Unfortunately, it can't fight like a recon and an infantry, but it is a threat that Sonya has to deal with. Multi-pronged attack, it's just like, you know, Sonya thought that she was safe on that side, but now suddenly everything's being dropped off over here, so not safe anymore. I guess that one couldn't really do much against superpower, so yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a
Sneaky sub.
pincer strike.
I'm pretty sure I was just
Un-
moving it where it couldn't get revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Uncomfortably close to that cruiser.
Yes.
Did I know that thing existed yet?
Yes, you have 5 vision on the sub. You
I don't
pretty
think I
brazen with
noticed
your
my black
subs.
boat dying.
Oh, that.
Must not have been very
No,
important.
no, no,
either.
no. You did see the sub with the recon, but you didn't see what it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never saw my black boat die. I just forgot about it, I guess.
We care about our naval units in this game.
Oh no! the
Oh,
lander.
what was in that lander?
The only reason I went over there is because I forgot that you couldn't, like, land units onto whatever the grass squares are. They had to be on the shoals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Me, 7-year-old me, when I tried to create my own map in Advanced Wars.
It lives.
It's like, why can't I get my boats? Why can't my boats drop off people here?
It is a bizarre and like obtuse system for how that works. People are always confused by that.
Advanced Wars logic. How do you work?
That battleship is really doing good work. It's killed a couple things. It's like shelled an enemy tank, and now it's killing off a recon.
I honestly think I did not know it was shooting. I feel like, because I was like foggy while I was playing this, so things kept dying, but I was not paying attention to who killed what. So if the battleship was out here killing things, I probably thought it was the rocket that doesn't exist anymore, or like something else. So I don't think I ever did a thing about that battleship. It just...
I think your sub is really built to deal with it, but it's hard to get a sub from here to there.
I think I thought the battleship was what was in the shoal right there. Yeah, I just...
Or reef. We probably mean reef rather than shoal.
Yeah, that word. Reef.
Eh,
Does it throw
joined
that?
an infantry.
So we saw some cool stuff this room. You know, subs are sinking things, bombers are sinking, you know, ships, battleships are killing things. Like all the big gun units are coming out, and they're all actually getting to actually do things for once in the Advanced Force. So what I was hoping for when I made the map, I'm happy to see that.
You guys are making Mel's dream come true.
Hooray.
Double
second
battleships.
Oh my goodness. Drake would be so happy.
Drake would be really good in this map. I think he'd probably jump up not just a tier 2, maybe to tier 1. Given
Global damage is just global damage, lander transport. Yeah, Drake would be good.
Where's my
Fun time,
black
fun.
boat?
Which one? Yeah, the one that was there just got sunk by a sub.
Oh,
Oof.
The evidence gets erased next turn when I get to heal.
Best.
Alright, gonna be a pretty good max blast here. So devastating tanks, killing MD tanks, wrecking a rocket, killing the rocket,
Killing the
instantly
rocket.
Do anything.
killing a
Killing
lander,
the lander.
port, and here comes a max bomber.
that infantry-
Scary stuff.
That infantry cruise ship's trip got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's just like, yeah, let's just sleep at this port. And tomorrow we'll go to oh, your trip got canceled. It's like, what happened? It's like, well,
So excited.
yeah. I guess you could say their income just sank. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure a pun was intended.
You will never know.
But that Sonya bomber is pushing Max back out of here, which is, getting to be a problem.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of me kind of giving up and then maybe second guessing and then giving up again.
The cruiser on the bottom was a good buy, actually.
There goes the sub. Yeah, I think this is the beginning of the end here. There's a lot of cool moves, but things kind of get pushed back inevitably because now Mare has kind of lost position there because of that strike, and the bomber's a big threat. Although actually the bomber, it's a bluff. The bomber's not there anymore.
Go down south.
I think you might have been saying it again because your max bomber was coming in.
I didn't know
I think
that.
I knew about it though.
That's true.
Yeah, because
So
you were scouting it when it was built because I tried to kill your lander and it wasn't there, and then I realized you knew my bomber, probably, or something like that. I'm not sure.
Oh, carrier. There's some
Cybo.
epic turns here.
Minor spoiler for a game on my channel. There are some land maps that have ports in random locations. I actually did build 2 carriers on that map.
You can make maps
I
that use
said-
those stationary turrets, but it has to be a map that's made for that purpose. And even then, they're just not that good.
Yeah, it's
I think
it's
that's
use.
one.
It's kind of done to make a property you could capture that doesn't heal your ground units, and to get stationary turrets because those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Expensive, but those are fun.
Yes. I did think that on this map there might actually be some carrier play options because if your missile lock gets pushed back here, a carrier lock can reestablish control over that airport.
Just put
I
it on
believe
that
my
reef.
new plan at this point was just to push towards that HQ on the right side
On that one, yeah.
and lock it down with battleships, carriers,
Yeah, that's a smart
and
move.
not really worry. If I lose the center at that point, I could just go take the HQ and win.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move. There are several good ways to close up the game. Just ways to avoid stalemates, basically. Made lots of possible victory conditions. Where did that battleship just sink there? Oh, it sank a cruiser! Oh man, we're having lots of naval combat here.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it was my cruiser. It disappeared very quickly.
Another cruise cancelled.
Yeah.
We should all hang out sometime.
Sounds fun, although of course we're on opposite sides of the country.
Yes,
Minor details.
we'll make it work.
Mm-hmm. Let's just not meet up by boat. That seems like that's just ill-omened.
I think I can agree with that one. I think that's probably a good idea.
Oh my god. By bombers.
By bombers.
Because they look the most like airplanes. I'm not gonna go across the country in a, box transport copter. Oh, that battleship is deep.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good spot for it. It could really cover a lot of real estate. Nope. There's that line that Koppel was going for. And you can then sail through these ports and start, getting to these waters too, although with a sub over there, that's dangerous.
I have a sub over there.
That one I don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good move.
Wait, are those
What the?
deletions?
You just.
To make room for building new things.
Oh,
the unit cap.
I was doing
The
so
unit
great.
cap. Oh, the unit. Mara,
Yeah.
Mara, I've been in your position. I know how that feels. Oh my god. Yeah, that was an entertaining game.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Really nice to see some naval combat.
Mm-hmm.
I
Thank you
wanna
both
look
for
at
trying this map out. It's great to see how new players would think about it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And not a lot of people know about these graphs, but I just wanted to see them myself.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought it was a very fun game.
Yeah. Naval is always fun to watch. It's like seeing this get some action, and like 2 battleships. Yeah, I was glad to have seen that.
Yeah, we had planes sinking ships, we had ships sinking ships or blowing away land units. It was what I hoped for, so I'm glad that worked out that way.
Well, let me get out of here. Thank you very much.
It was fun. Have a good one.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Okay, welcome back. We are going to be tackling the second mission here on Mare Tenebrosum. This time me against Advanced Warrior. This will be, I think, our 3rd match. So, the map is called Mare Tenebrosum, which means the Sea of Darkness in Latin. It was their very, very ominous name for the nearby bit of the Atlantic just outside the Straits at Gibraltar. The Romans were pretty terrible sailors in general, and just very, very bad in the Atlantic in particular, so they gave it a very scary name. It also probably relates to how that section of the Atlantic has some just below the water shoals and so forth that can appear to make the water look dark. Some silly people think that Atlantis would have been there, but Atlantis was not even a Greek myth. It was a thought experiment made up by Plato in a couple of his Socratic dialogues. So I named our game Critias after one of those Socratic dialogues that had mentioned Atlantis.
Interesting.
Okay, so whereas the other match was a Tier 2 match, this one it was going to be Tier 1. Why did you pick Sasha?
Alright, so I actually did have plans to pick Drake on this map. But I was afraid that you would aim for Sasha and that would take away the best thing about Drake is his global damage. So I guess going down the list of COs, we have Hawk. It's a big map. Hawk definitely could work, especially with his amazing global damage powers. Javier, the towers, you have to fight for your tower, so I didn't really see Javier working. Von Bolt, the map felt like it was too big. But ultimately, I did go with Sasha for 2 reasons. One, if I did say you picked Hawk and I had Sasha, then I could take away the good thing about Hawk is his global damage.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Sasha's a solid pick here. This map, by design, will have very unusual tiers, I would say. Drake would probably go up at least a tier, maybe 2 tiers. Olaf probably up a tier or 2. Meanwhile, people like Sensei should actually be playable on this map, because there's ghost units all over everything, so you can't just spam infantry. It should overall be, I think, a balanced low-tier CO, which is one of the goals that I had here. Just allow unusual COs to be playable, and make some of the usual good picks not be as good. My goal for picking Sasha here was, I've just been trying to find ways to break my map, basically. Trying to think of combinations of COs or moves that would be unbalancing, and just see if I could fix those, if I could think of any. And so I thought, player 2 gets a little bit more money. If I play a Sasha to absolutely max out that money, so I thought I'll just do the best that I can to see if I can break the map that way.
Alright, so getting started?
Yes. So, the classic build infantry opener, and getting your lander out of there, I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah, I think that was something that was concerning, but watching Mara's game, when she was able to boost her infantry to get that port in 2 turns rather than 3 turns, I think that was something I could have done.
Alright, I think we both do fairly typical openers. I am going for that boost. At least, as you'll soon see, I'll be going for that boost, I believe.
Nah, I just went for immediate properties.
Mm-hmm. And you're getting your HQ lander to play immediately, and so am I. I think both of us believe that the lander is worth more getting people into play than it is blocking off possible HQ rushes, although I will get a guy out to guard my HQ fairly early.
Maybe I just didn't feel the potential threat of an HQ cap. I'd probably already have enough units in development before an HQ cap would be possible.
Mm-hmm. I did try to calculate it out just to make sure that the fastest possible HQ rush with Sammy or whatever isn't unstoppable, and it should be good. Alright, so we're both getting our airports pretty fast. Are you planning a tank drop basically with that?
I think so, yes.
Sounds good.
Although that is a very nice 3-chain with those ports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of property chains in this map in general.
So, do I do what I said I'd do?
Let's see, getting that port. Doing an early land drop to get the T-copter. I think I'm not the T. The comm tower.
The T tower. And I think I'm pretty sure that infantry is either gonna take 2 turns to capture this more central ports, or just gonna capture those 2 in the back. I think since this was a big map with a high mobility opportunity, I probably want to go for more contested properties.
Yes. So here I get a bunch of properties, and I've got some schemes that I'm working on. So I load up, double drop there, just so even if you drop at the same time, I can overcome you with 2 guys against 1 plus the recon. And then I get my missile early on, so I'm locking that airport.
A missile.
And then here I'm scouting to see, do you have a missile? And the answer is you do not have a missile. I'm going to get a T-copter, even though, I guess, it doesn't mean basic. Yes, it's perfectly calculated money, basically, that I get a missile and a T-copter. So, as Sasha, you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. As most seals, you probably can, but you can't be guaranteed. It's like either you deny the enemy their copter, or you get your own copter. It's a choice you gotta make. Which I think is interesting.
I think it's more painful that you revealed that I got a tank up there.
That too, yeah. I do know a bit about what you're doing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that tank, and as you can see, you're going for the middle, I'm not going for the middle. So you will have good control of that stuff for a while here. But you make a good and interesting move here, I think. You give up, your vision there, so you won't see the T-copter until it's kind of too late. But that means you get to drop off down there, and you can just immediately lock down all of those cities. So that's a smart play, I think.
I kind of saw that certain parts of the map as areas where, like I said in the last match, where vehicles aren't gonna have an easy time reaching there, or they're not gonna reach there quickly. Just infantry with black boats and transports. So I don't think there's anything to threaten that recon.
Mm-hmm.
I go for the city because it's a little early for that comm tower.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I do go for that back city.
Getting set up. Lots of tanks, and they're going to be set up for a nice double drop into the middle. So that'll be some great mid control you've got there. So the airport is locked. And now I drive back to where I can drop off infantry next turn. Could have done that a little bit faster if I hadn't been doing that scouting mission, but I thought it was worth it just to guarantee my T-copter actually gets built successfully rather than wasting 5,000 money.
Oh, you go for the comm tower.
Yeah, I have 2 infantry, I go for both. My thought is you finish them both off and have the lander come back and pick one of them up and then move on from there. And here I've got my HQ protected again, so I feel good about that. I could maybe have gone for more money here, but I just want to have both not lose HQ capture and also get a bit of money. And I get my own B copter to know that there is no missile there.
Yep.
Did have the base kit for it, but I feel like it's worth it just to get out a copter now while it's safe.
Yeah, you're also still maintaining unit counts the same as if you didn't build a copter.
That's true, too. I think on this map, unit count might be a little bit less significant than it is on some maps, because here you can deploy not just 3 or 4 units per turn, you can deploy 5 or 6 units per turn eventually, when you can start getting out ships and whatnot, right?
Yeah, and the other airport, possibly.
That, too. So nice double drop there. We'll do that around the same time, but you already have control with your recon, so that's great.
Yeah. Kind of hoping you don't have your recon there.
Mm-hmm.
Is my tank not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is it covered? Oh, it is covered.
It's covered, yeah. You've got a good coverage here.
Yeah.
It's a scary position, and here you get a copter.
I remember I was just thinking, it's he won't build a missile this early, would he? And that wasn't even the first sign that my copter was missing. Mouth sent me a picture
yes.
of a comic of someone building a toy plane or something, and then someone shoots it down. And when I was comprehending that, I'm like, why would he send me? Oh no, that's what happened in my mind. It's why would he send me that? Oh no, he did build a missile. But with that missile buy, I did try to piece together, okay, 12k went into that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can maybe take advantage of this.
That's smart, yeah. I do pay a real price for that missile. Sure, I got out copters and a missile, but that means I've got nothing in the middle, despite being player 2. So, I'm in some trouble there.
Yeah.
Getting some nice little drop boosts so I can get to that port faster. And I realized, of course, that you're probably going to be pushing to the middle at this point, so now I must get that tank, and I've got a good setup here where I can do another double drop next turn, as well as getting a boost this turn. I enjoy transport play a lot, so this is my kind of map. This map has like all the things that I want maps to have, really.
Yeah. Although a bit much to calculate all the possible openings for me, yeah, it was fun to like see how far I could get with these transports.
Mm-hmm. You can get a transport right into the middle if you wanted to. You sail right through the
ports
into those shoals and just drop mechs or infantry off into the mountains. I'm not sure it's the best thing to do, but you can do it.
Yeah. Hopefully you get a mech in that forest.
Uh-huh.
Then next turn you're just on the mountain shooting defenseless. But I have vision of those infantry. Well,
yeah,
one
speaking
infantry.
of defenseless, you can see that guy you can block the city, so it's not good for me.
Did you suspect a possible recon?
I thought it was unlikely, but possible. But I didn't have an alternative. I've got to drop off somewhere, I've got to just go for it, and I'll have coverage there eventually. Like, what else am I going to do? Just sit here and do nothing? So.
Yeah.
Speaking of sitting and doing nothing, I have a lot of surplus guys that really can't accomplish much. That is kind of a downside of what I did, of just, double dropping here. The lander can't get them off the island fast enough from here. But I mean, it's already, like day 6, we already have combat on 2 fronts, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Finally catching my comm tower, not taking advantage of the chain, unfortunately.
Yes.
But I do take advantage of this.
Yep. Free hit there.
Yep.
Painful for me. And very nice.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think my reasoning was that, okay, it's like, at this point you already have a missile. I don't have a missile. It's like, you probably have an air unit, so I thought that was possible. Yeah, that might be why I built that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't want to invest 12,000 in a missile right now, it's a solid choice, I think.
And the lander's right there for it.
Yes, it's good timing that way. If I did something like a B-copter threat against your comm tower here, the anti-air is the only thing that'll really be able to solve that. A missile would not be able to get there in time to stop it. So you've got control of the whole middle this way. You see, I don't have any of that stuff, and you're already threatening what should be my properties here. So, scary stuff.
Yep.
So on my turn, I maneuver my missile a little bit more just to where I'm on the city. I plan to load my recon on here and harass you back. So I arrive there and I'm surprised and annoyed to see you already have that property, so you're ahead of me, so whoops.
Can't drop off here, Richie.
Mm-hmm. And also, whoops, you're already threatening me there, so that's not great. So I get some boosts, and I said what I should do is block off the good train so you can't have it. You know they have a tank there, but like, if you attack me, you'll be attacking me from a shoal against like a city, basically, so I think this would give me a good chance to fight back.
Yep.
I'm not sure why I dropped that guy off, maybe just I didn't have him cluttering up the lander, but it's a questionable move, I think.
I'm scared what you're doing with that black boat. Oh, yep, there it is.
Yep. So I thought about...
I can't land my anti-air on there.
Yep.
This turn.
The coast is blocked. And we talked about how mechs are good in the last game, right? It's the only thing you can get that can fight a recon over there, so mechs are kind of not mandatory, but close to it.
Cheapest way to deal with vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let's see what I do here. Now this is kind of a thing that I like to do in Fog. So I think when I did this, it's kind of making you say, hey, I don't want you to get a single hit off of these units. A low HP recon is still just as viable as a healthy recon. It's just closer to dying. So I put it in vision range on purpose just to get you to back off. Like a deterrence, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not doing so well in that front. You definitely got the sides under much better control than I do. I've had to retreat. On the plus side, at least, I know that I got a good advantage of getting my copters out. So 2 different strategies working out very differently. And there, I immediately regret my choice of having that infantry stand there.
And I can't reach that infantry on the left because of all those forests.
Mm-hmm. Another black boat. Interesting. They are good to have over there. You don't really have enough, like... I mean, your landers are over here right now, right? So you don't have landers over there to populate those islands.
Yes. I think I keep that lander there because I don't want you to have that 2-property island underneath your black boat.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't have the other one.
Mm-hmm. So here now, I do feel safe doing this, and know that if I move like that, you can't drop anything off. You can point rockets at it, but I'm going to be able to start capturing things here. So I feel pretty good about that little maneuver.
And this is where you can start to see the power of the missile here.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, like, I'm kind of behind on income, probably. I'm actually doing okay, but I thought I was behind. And I'm way behind on map control, but I can make up maybe grabbing the comm towers and just by having control of the sky. So that was my thinking at this point. So I scout that tank. Try to make it hard for you to get a good strike on me, but I don't have any backup, so it's really not looking great.
Yeah. And also there are no cities to repair that tank immediately.
Mm-hmm. I do have this one guy for backup, but it's not a good situation. I think I need to get a Neotank out there and just turn this around and get back control of the middle.
Yeah, I was thinking why not medium tank, but now I see there's no movement to get it boosted. Alright, so pull back, get vision.
It hurts.
Fortunately, I don't get the kill.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. And do I kill this recon?
Probably not, because you're only at 7 HP. It'd be surprising if you killed it.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cut my losses, have the anti-air cover my other units.
And you got the market crash out first, which means I don't get mine.
Yeah, in this matchup it's kind of funny because it feels like market crash is just used to get a 10% boost on all your units. Mm-hmm. And I have the sub. Mm-hmm. I kind of figured, okay, I lost my only airport. The copter is already doing amazing work, taking over my comm tower city. I'm just gonna start creating air presence myself. While at the same time, if you have any naval units, I could deal with that too.
Yeah, I didn't expect to sub this early. I was not ready for that. I thought I had a few more turns, basically.
I did. Yeah, I saved for the 10% boost. Mm-hmm. Luck strikes you again.
Uh-huh.
And here I built a APC because I felt like everything was getting choked up at that little choke point there.
Mm-hmm. So you can just boost more people way along?
Yeah.
I remember on this turn, I was feeling, you're locking me out of there, I can't dare capture in here, like things are not feeling great right now, other than that all my maneuvers over here worked. So I had to
Could you have seen that I had to move my recon away to see your 1 HP tank?
I don't think so, because I had to, yeah, that is kind of a point, but I figured you might have had an infantry on that mountain or something like that that could have accounted for it too. Okay, so I'm threatening captures. I now have loading off the black boat. Now I'm going to drop off mech first, and now I've got coverage, so I can get going for these things. But you're already ahead all those properties, so not great. This is going to die. I might as well just have him accomplish something first so he just does that attack.
Start draining my funds.
Mm-hmm. And deny you this capture too, basically. Or just delay it.
Delay it. Severely delay it.
Mm-hmm. And this sucks. I'm attacking it against the force with you having CO power. I feel like I had to do it to cover that capture, among other things. And there I just try to build a wall and fence you in so you can't easily get out without spending a lot of vehicles, hopefully, to just break that tank through. Well, I set it up so my Neotank covers me and prepares to get the kill.
And I don't have anything for it.
Mm-hmm. And Neotank here mostly just to back things up in the middle. I feel like I could have built it over here, but I wanted to get more infantry dropped off into these areas. There's just so much money to be had. And I might maybe consider dropping it off, here and fighting your tank. It's an option at least to have.
Yeah.
I just keep my formation here where you can't drop off there unless you have an area, which no, you don't have. And you can't drop off there. I'm expecting to have an artillery kill this guy at some point and allow a drop off, but it'll be too late, I think. So what were you thinking at the start of this turn?
I think I was like maybe suspecting, counterattack from multiple tanks instead of a Neotank. As regards to the top left, I was kind of panicking because I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna want to try to capture properties on the central island, like where the cities are. I think I did consider maybe trying to do the same thing to your tower, but definitely feel like indirects were something that I had to do to help me out.
Why did you build this second anti-air, come to think of it?
I think I was gonna send one anti-air to the middle, and this second anti-air is just gonna cover any lagging behind units.
Okay. So my poor infantry are getting killed. You're ahead of me getting onto those islands, despite me having a T-copter, so that's well done. Okay, so you didn't finish off the guy, you pulled back here to cover yourself. That's smart. And it's annoying me because it means you're out of range of my Neotank, so I can't, charge in and get a free kill or anything like that.
Yeah. And if that recon dies, I have another one, right there.
Uh-huh. And I've been being very cautious with my copter. I think just the way you're moving, maybe I think you probably had an anti-air nearby. I just try to shift fronts around so you don't know where I am.
Meanwhile, I'm just flooding my bottom base with just infantry.
I guess the cost of having the black boat go up there is that in the meantime, these infantry are not being dropped off anywhere. Come to think of it, Javier could be really good in this map, actually. Even if you don't
yeah.
Because he can just
Right.
get a T-copter out no matter what.
Alright, that's nice to know, but you're happy 20%, and I'm just the most vanilla Sasha can be. So yeah, I think when I saw the Neotank, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't want to reveal it like that. I was hoping to have it kill a tank instead, but it just felt like it was necessary in this case. I can wall for myself pretty well, so you can't counterattack me very easily.
Yeah, I was like, I'm facing a copter. I'm facing a Neotank. I didn't think at this point you'd probably have one. What do I do? Because vehicles are going to take forever to just send it up there.
And I shifted away, just try to surprise you and not have good coverage here. Like, if you attack this tank, it actually is copter covered now. I just try to be unpredictable, because I only have this one copter, it'd be a shame to lose it.
That's another Neotank.
Another Neotank, yeah. I guess I'm not really going hard on the naval units right now. I'm just trying to control the ground and fight back in the middle, where I worry that you could control so much income that I can't really come back if I don't fight back right now. What I'm not expecting is the sub to come over there and just wreck my lander. Wasn't ready for that yet.
Yep. So
Okay.
now I did build my missile last turn, but you already have 2 air units at that point, and funny enough, just one copter, and you have air dominance. The thought of it's actually kind of funny. I am worried about my one black bone on the top right because it is low in fuel.
I guess you have 2 of them close together now, though, right? So now they'll be okay.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, the only downside is just these guys are getting stranded in the meantime.
Yeah, at least I have to worry at least I only have to worry about one of my HQs.
So you found my copter again, but I know that you know where I am, so I'm expecting that you probably moved an anti-air in somewhere over there, and probably not over here.
Yeah.
Lots of good boosts, lots of transport fun.
There's the rocket.
The rocket to push me off of here. I thought you'd do it with the cheap artillery, but the rocket's an even more complete solution, so makes sense to me.
And I did build a lander at the bottom, so I'm fixing that problem. But with 12k, I think I was thinking, all right, so you have this Neotank in the middle. It's a little bit faster if I have a vehicle from my HQ base to reinforce that one side where my 8 HP tank is.
Alright, so there I'm feeling pretty good about how I can kill that, drop off, and now, suddenly, anything threatening.
Yeah.
Just fun transport shenanigans. I like that about this map.
And I'm not prepared for that, prepared to drop anything off next turn.
Mm-hmm. So I went heavy on the heavy tanks here, that is for sure.
Oh yeah. And I can't build bombers to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to worry about anti-air as well.
Mm-hmm.
For now, at least.
Yeah. And I figured out where the anti-air is, so I just kind of went right outside of your range.
And you built a sub.
Yes, I built my own sub. Yeah, I thought I was reasonably early building him. I was not expecting you to already have a sub about to cruise up and just blow away my lander.
Yeah. I think what shocked you more is that I think this was a luck roll too.
Yep, I was a bit miffed about that. Without the compounds, I get coin flip, and then it just...
Boom,
Whoop.
like that. And yeah, I realized my other black boat isn't in range, so I kind of forego those captures. Like, all right, I need air units now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
And my lander is fine, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, there's no potential that you have 2 airports. But I delay my lander another turn to get that Neotank.
Would you have considered a mega tank?
I think I was too concerned about base skipping.
Fair enough. It would have involved some base skipping, yeah.
Yes.
So lots
Yeah,
of
that's why I like that. That's why I like that ABC there.
Yeah, he definitely helped you get back your middle presence.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I did have the presence, but I didn't keep the properties there.
Mm-hmm. Sub has to move in a really awkward route because of that shoal. But that shoal is necessary, so.
Oh, I thought you had the sub for something else. Kind of surprised it went that way. I thought it would be like, you could get vision of whatever's like on my base.
I think what I was picturing was, I know you're going to soon want to drop people off here and take this island. So I kind of know a lander will be coming here soon, and want to have a sub ready to come over there and just kill it as it arrives. So here I scout, and I think I can finally do my own market crash, get that little bonus. Which lets me guarantee that kill. Yep.
30% attack boost. That goes. You're getting those.
Moving back. Not overextending, just kind of trying to consolidate control, keep coverage.
Yeah. And the rocket.
Yes, the rocket, the plan there is I can't really keep you from landing here, but I can just park the rocket here and just point it at those comm towers and you won't get them back anytime soon. Unless you get a battleship, which I already have a sub for. So that's kind of my multi-step thinking about how I'm going to keep that comm tower. It's an investment, but it might well be worth it. And the phase of turn would just tell everybody to wait so I don't forget anybody. Okay.
I know the paranoia.
Alright. So what were you thinking at this point?
If I was gonna stabilize, I have a very small window to do that now. Alright, I'm just gonna have to fight for the right wing because I do have a base and a lander there, so just keep dropping units off there. And it's not too far from my top airport. I don't see the rocket on the top left, however, so I'm like, okay, maybe I might have a chance to drop things off and start taking back those 2 properties.
Makes sense
to
me. And I think in contrast, I'm thinking I've lost that airport, I'm going to be late to this race down here. What I can maybe do though is just make you spend resources taking this back and just deny it to you anyway with that sub. While trying to get ahead on income here.
Yeah.
Letting you have the airport because I can't stop it and just going for everything else instead.
A little bit of a boost to just get some vision.
Mm-hmm.
So nice you have 2 Neotanks. And I think I was like, ooh, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that sub, but thankfully it's out of range of that lander.
Yes, darned shoal spoils everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I will be in time with my rocket at least, so that's something.
Yeah.
And this
Did
is
in hindsight, this was not a good move.
The interesting thing was, I thought that because I had vision of the lander, I should be able to see whatever comes out of it into the forest, but I actually couldn't. I knew you dropped something there, but it wouldn't show me it was a Neotank in any way.
Oh, it didn't show you?
Yeah, I thought it should, but it didn't show me. I was cautious because I thought it could be something like a Neotank, so I played accordingly and made the right call, but it didn't actually show me.
Yeah, I'm realizing I'm lacking a lot of heavy vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I built a battleship.
That's definitely the right call. That'll push me back out of here, I think. I don't have a sub down there.
Yeah.
And it'll push... It's multi-pronged, right? It pushes me off of there, pushes me off of here. It's a great unit here.
I'm starting to feel like I might build I think I might have tried to build a cruiser after this.
Oh, maybe.
I can't remember if I do. Yeah. Looking at the situation from my perspective, seeing that copter there, I think a cruiser should have been the right play.
Went for that, softened it up. Took some heavy luck damage there, but it's okay. That's a pretty good strike.
Yeah.
And now that I'm invisible, I thought I'll scout and see what you've got. And see, there is a rocket pointed at me. That's good to know. I can't hide from it, so I might as well stand here, basically.
Give yourself the best defense.
And an option to drop off more guys. I think. I forget if I do that. At least I was thinking about doing it. And here, this might seem crazy, but here's my thinking. You can get a first strike at me, but if you do that, you're not shooting this guy. I have this property, and I'm going to have my CO power bonus, so you won't be able to kill me. I'll hit back pretty hard, and you're on a shoal, and I'm on an airport. And the important thing is I can build another rocket here this turn, and then join them up. And that way I can actually just win that rocket duel and push you back off of there, and then the airport's going to be mine again.
This is not a crazy move. You're giving me options, and each of them has a consequence.
Mm-hmm. So I did feel pretty proud about that little maneuver there. It's unusual to deliberately walk a rocket in enemy range and just plan on it, but I think it was probably a good call here. I'm still trying to be cautious with my Neotanks and not give me a chance to first strike one of them. And yeah, there's my other rocket to join up. And yeah, I do that drop off. Now you can't cooperate against these guys. If he shoots my rocket, which he's kind of got to do, you can't fight here, so we'll keep the island even longer, and yeah, the fun goes on.
Oh, another rocket down there.
Yeah, here I was thinking maybe I can actually go for a lock against you over there. If I drop off onto that lander, drop off onto that middle, and then can start shooting at whatever you have over there. I don't know you have a battleship. It's a wrong call against the battleship, but I did not know you had that. Alright, your turn.
Alright, let's see what I do. Just capture and capture.
Got the airport.
Finally got the airport. Oh yeah, that was just alright. Well, I bought this rocket, let me just shoot it, but that 20% felt like it was just gonna overwhelm me. The battleship I feel like was a little bit too slow. But I would say my biggest mistake on this map was not building the corners, where I didn't really think it would matter that much. I feel like ended up actually mattering. Like you had that one copter, I did so much work. And I neglected to build a transport copter. So, looking at this now, I did feel like there were a couple turns where my tanks didn't really do anything other than just, holding the middle. I did like what I did with my recon though, taking it off the column tower and threatening the more contested property.
Yeah, that hurt pretty bad. I mean, you do pay for that in terms of not getting any intel over here and not be able to defend the island. It's definitely a move that has powerful advantages and powerful disadvantages too.
Okay.
It's kind of a trade-off too, also on purpose of if you stand there, you can watch both things, but if you stand over here, you can protect them from dropping off onto your comm tower and having easy time taking over the island.
This was a fun map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I like the little pockets that the Navy units can cross. And as we saw in the other game, some viable naval builds. So you said this map is going to be out when the video comes out?
Yes.
Okay, I'm interested to seeing what people think.
Me too.
I might try this again against randoms.
Sounds good, yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to see what some high-level players think of it. We had a beginner game, we had an intermediate game. I don't know how someone more experienced than us would be tackling this. I'd like to see that. All right.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Oh, of course. It's always fun to do this kind of stuff with your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching, everyone. And a special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Illusory Thunder, Master Knight DH, Advanced Warrior, Jackie, Gregory, William Wakefield, Kenny Boggs, Danny Hall, and Jeffrey Morse. Have a great day, everyone!